Welcome back to Performance TV. If you've ever done a restoration on an old car, you know what a nightmare the wiring can be. Well, on today's show, I'm going to put a new harness on this 1950 Chevy pickup, and it's going to take all the headache out of it. It's a great product. So let's check in with Kathy and learn a little more about it.
Well, you know what, Tommy? One of the first things that's going to go on a lot of these older vehicles is going to be the wiring turning brittle and bad. But Gene with YnZ Yesterday's Parts, you've been taking care of wiring harnesses and updates for how many years?
For 46 years next month.
Wow, you definitely know this stuff inside and out. What do we have here for our Chevy truck?
Well, we've designed a harness because the customer wanted an original style harness with turn signals built in. So we're going to make his brake lights blink and his park lights blink, and yet make the harness look completely original, right down to the wire colors.
And something else that you have taken very good care of are a lot of the things that they only made back then.
That is correct.
So I see a lot of connectors on here that you're not going to see nowadays.
Well, for instance, this is a dash light socket. This is the same socket that was used in General Motors cars from 1939 all the way through 1959 on some models, and in Corvettes up into the early 1960s. Another example is this fender junction board. You can see this board is made out of the same phenolic material that it was back in 1950 when this truck was new.
And of course, these ends, they don't make those anymore.
Yeah, because a lot of terminals and connectors are no longer made, we have to remanufacture them so they'll still fit on the original equipment.
And so what we see here is what came with the kit. Now, Tommy already has all the instructions, because I see some numbers.
Yeah, these numbers correspond to a type set of instructions that we put on our wire harnesses. Many times we give a drawing. For instance, if you see this light switch within the instructions that Tommy has, he's got a drawing of this light switch showing where every one of these wires hook on that switch.
Well, not just for this truck, but how many different wiring harnesses?
Over 9,000 different makes and models.
Wow, wow. And as Gene said, some things you can do to kind of customize them for your ride as well. And I can't wait to see Tommy play with the numbers here and put everything all together.
Well, I've been busy getting the old harness out of the pickup so we can install the new harness. There's several steps you got to do, but the first one would be disconnecting the battery cable. Then, when you come underneath the hood, you want to remove all your wiring that's connected, like the voltage regulator, the fuse panel, the fender. Right here, you have a little junction terminal. Then you got to disconnect the generator down here. And then you got some wiring that runs underneath the vehicle. Those connect to the stop lights, the tail lights. And then your headlights, you got all that wiring. That's what all you have to do before you take anything out of here. But to make it easy, I went ahead and just cut the harness right here at the firewall. That way you can pull it through. You don't have all this old wiring right here. We're not going to use it, so why not cut it and get it out of the way? Then once you get it out, you open up these clips and just simply pull the harness out of the vehicle. That way, when you go to put the new one in, super easy. Cut this little grommet out right here on the firewall as well. That makes it real easy to run the new harness, because there's some wires you got to run through here, and you can't cut them. You got to have new ones. But right now I'm getting ready to install and hook up all the new harness. Getting ready to hook up the voltage regulator. And Gene, hey, just in time.
Hi, Tommy.
I love your direction sheet. Each wire is numbered. I look at the wire, look on the sheet, see what it says. And right here, it's the battery connection right here to the. It's the number 15 wire. Super easy.
Typically, the manufacturers in all the vintage cars marked all the terminals, whether it was on a light switch, ignition switch, or a voltage regulator. So you just look for those symbols, and the number on the wire tells you where it goes.
Right. I got number 8 right here. Look at my sheet. That says S on the light on the fuse blocks. Look over here. Stop. I mean, it's obvious. It goes right here. You can't mess it up.
Well, that's what we aim for when we give these instructions to our customers.
You know what I like, Gene? I like the looks of this harness.
Well, thank you very much, Tommy. You may notice, like, this is the starter harness right here. It was braided in cloth and a hemp-like material. It's a paper thread. And we put green stripes in it. That's because this customer has a green truck and he asked for green stripes.
But you can custom match them in any colors or
any color the customer wants. We've done purple, we've done browns, yellows, blues, but we also rubber wrap harnesses like they were originally, or even another material called auto loom material. So they're covered the way the cars were made when the vehicle was manufactured.
And I like here, these wires, we're going to connect the circuit. This is 8, this is 5, just like it on the top side.
Just follow through. The wires, the current's got to flow through that fuse before it gets down to
and it's super easy.
Going to do.
And it's already, you know, all the loom is run, everything's nice, everything connects right down to where it goes. You know, even the fender panel, you give us a new terminal. You just mount that in place and bolt everything right to it.
That's correct, because typically these old ones, I'm looking at one right now, they're all corroded, they're warped, they might even short out, so it's just as good to have a new one in place.
I'll tell you what, we got to take a quick break here on Performance TV. I'm going to finish wrapping up the harness. This is the main harness. When I get done with that, I've got everything else to give this truck all new wiring. We'll catch you right back.